All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to play detective. We're sifting through a whole bunch of recent market chatter from some of the world's top finance experts. Why? Because we're looking for the hidden trends, the big story that everyone's actually talking about, even if they don't say it outright. So let me start with a little riddle for you. What on earth do biofuels, the country of Brazil, and post-Brexit Britain all have in common? I know it sounds like the setup for a really weird joke, but the answer is actually a huge clue about where the smart money is heading right now. So, where are we getting all this from? We're looking at a collection of headlines from Market Views. It promises to give us the latest thinking from financial experts. But, when you first look at it, it just seems like a wall of noise, total information overload. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. We've got interviews with Brazilian government ministers right next to lists of top-rated ETFs. Then you have articles questioning commodities, sitting next to deep dives on Latin American trade locks. If you're an investor just looking for a clear signal, this is just confusing, right? But believe me, there's a pattern hidden in all this chaos. Okay, so let's start digging. Let's find our very first clue. Once we start to sift through all that noise and group these headlines together by what they're really about, one thing just jumps right out, a really strong geographic focus. So now, take a look at this list. Suddenly, a really clear picture starts to form, doesn't it? A huge chunk of these expert articles are all zeroed in on one place, Latin America. I mean, they're talking about everything from its energy potential to its politics and trade. This is no accident. This is a concentrated beam of attention. Which, of course, makes you ask the obvious question. What's the deal with Latin America? What's going on down there that has so many experts buzzing? What's the big story they're all trying to get in on early? And this one headline? Wow. It frames the opportunity perfectly. I mean, think about that analogy. Calling Latin America the Middle East of biofuel. That's a massive statement. It suggests that experts see this region becoming a future superpower in the green energy world. That's a huge claim. Okay, so that's clue number one. It tells us where the experts are looking. But, that's only half the puzzle. Our second clue reveals how they're recommending people act on this. It's all about what's in the modern investor's toolkit. And here's where it gets really interesting. Look at this number 5. As we combed through all these recent articles, one very specific phrase just kept popping up. It appeared 5 separate times. In the world of finance where things move so fast, that kind of repetition is a massive flashing signal. And what was that recurring theme? You got it? Hashtag one-rated ETFs. This isn't just a random mention. It tells you that when it comes to jumping on these big opportunities, ETFs are the preferred tool of the trade for these experts. They're not just saying, go invest over there. They're showing you the exact tool to use. Which leads to the key question, doesn't it? We see this term everywhere, but to really get what the experts are saying, we have to be super clear on what an ETF actually is. Okay, so simply put, an ETF, or exchange-traded fund, is basically a basket of different investments. It could hold stocks, bonds, even commodities. And you can buy or sell that entire basket on the stock market just like you would a single stock. The big appeal? Diversification. Instead of betting everything on one horse, you get a piece of a whole industry or region with just one trade. All right, so we know where to look and we know how to invest. But our third and final clue reveals a huge debate that's raging right now about what to invest in. Even within these big trends, the experts are battling it out over which sector is going to rule the future. And I love this headline because it perfectly captures that conflict. Forget commodities, is tech the best investment? It's literally staging a battle between the old world of physical stuff and the new world of digital innovation. It's asking a really fundamental question about where value is going to come from in the years ahead. And this isn't just a two-horse race between tech and commodities. The source material shows us there are other heavy hitters in this fight. You've got ESG and green energy, which we saw with the whole biofuel thing. You've got the rise of robotics and AI. And of course, the old guard, traditional stuff like gold and oil, they're still in the ring. It's a real battle for investor attention. So, there we have it. We've got our 3 clues: the geographic hotspot, the investor's toolkit, and this clash of sectors. Now it's time to put it all together. Let's connect the dots and finally see the coherent strategy that was hiding in all that noise. Okay, here's the whole playbook laid out step by step. First, the where. There's a laser focus on the huge potential emerging in Latin America. Second, the how. The pros are using modern tools like ETFs to get access to it. And third, the what. They're actively navigating this big debate between major sectors like tech, commodities, and green energy.
And that, right there, is the signal we were looking for in all that noise. It's not just random chatter, it's a complete investment strategy. The big takeaway is to use modern tools to get into specific high-potential regions, all while being smart about navigating these huge debates between sectors.
So I'll leave you with this one final thought. Now that you can see the whole pattern laid out, which piece of this puzzle do you think is the most important? Is it the where, the region, the how, the investment tool, or the what, that big battle between sectors? The answer to that could really define the next decade of investing.